What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action. In the right-hand corner of the map, playing as Quetzalcoatl. His name is Ulysses AOT. A man who just wants to play some Age of Titans, but he has been brought into the world of Retold to face terrors that have never been seen before, and that terror today is none other than Kido, the Abuser! Severo Jones Bones Malone, one of my favorite players to cast at the moment. He plays a very unique style, he plays at a higher level, and he also loves to experiment. Big fan of watching this guy playing, and he's going to be playing Demeter for us today. Now, recently, Demeter had some nerfs, some buffs. People thought, this god is now absolutely and unequivocally unplayable. That's what people have been saying because of the nerfs. For example, Icarus got nerfed because got lost his AoE damage, but gained some extra damage. That's a significant nerf. The hamadryad lost a huge amount of damage on its special attack. That's another big nerf. The Hestia's Hearth increased in recast cost, another nerf. But guess what? Where the devs taketh, the devs also giveth. And I'm excited here to see if Kido is going to show off exactly what the devs have giveth, which is the hamadryad. I said that it was nerfed. Look, I might just go ahead and say that there may be a bigger picture to this whole thing. Now, I don't know if he's actually going to go for these in this game, but I want to build it up just in case. Just in case. I mean, if you watch the thumbnail and then there's a hamadryad in there, he probably built one anyway, so I don't know what I'm saying. But I don't know yet, so we'll see. We are on the map Oasis. Let's check out some relics. There is the Feather of Bafang over here, making human soldiers do bonus damage to buildings. We've got the Armor of Achilles over here. Infantry damage vulnerability +5 or -5% there. Over onto this one, we have the Pandora's Box. A relic here begging one Kido, the Abuser, Severo Jones Bones Malone to pick it up and make said hamadryads. He could also pick this up and go in for the werewolves, which I haven't seen many people really trying to make usage of, but I definitely think it's a strong strategy. So I think I want to give it a try at some point. I've been neglecting it just because I think that playing for the hamadryad it's basically the same thing. Like we're going both myth unit style or whatever. It's basically the same thing, and it's really effective, or was. So it's definitely probably time to try that Lacowan out. There's a couple of wild strats like building and rebuilding a town center to get yourself Pan's Pioneers in. You put the town center down. You then delete the town center, you rebuild it. Sure, it costs 700 resources, but it's not costing any favor, and you get 2 Lacowan for it. Of course, probably a terrible idea, but an idea nonetheless. We are going to be seeing the Quetzalcoatl to come through for Ulysses. No surprises there, though I do think that Quetzalcoatl is very viable, even though we are seeing a lot of people going for this one. The reason for this god is mostly the god power gives you a lot of safety net in your main base, and people don't like leaving their base. Anything that can make their life easier for them in terms of macro, in terms of strategy, making their strategy more effective, or easy to execute, or consistent, people like it a lot. And that's what I think the Quetzalcoatl is. That's why I think this is so popular at the top level and Huehue isn't, even if the actual strength of Huehue is incredibly high. As Kido says, you know what I'm going to do then? I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to take myself this forward town center. He's got himself Arcadian Meadow, so there is literally nothing that Ulysses can do to stop this, but you do want to force the Arcadian Meadow out, and that is what Ulysses is going to be attempting to do here. He's sending his rabbits in, he's sending in the Tajipla that he's converting, and Kido will need to drop the Arcadian Meadow down, and does do so, but Ulysses can run over this side and zap it. Okay. Ulysses doesn't understand, unfortunately. That could have gone really badly for Kido. He could have ran over this side and then shot the villagers. So the way that this Arcadian Meadow works is you can't attack from inside the Arcadian Meadow. But you can attack from outside into the Arcadian Meadow. So there was this position here that he could have shot, but I think Maybe Kido would have moved over onto this corner and he might have been out of range. I don't know. But Town Center will come down on this other side for Ulysses. He's got to be somewhat happy, though. You get Arcadian Meadow out. That means there's not going to be any threat of some obnoxious fortress getting placed in your face and all the other good stuff that comes from that. As Ulysses will send 10 villagers over here to grab his Town Center. And here's the interesting decision-making process that you can add into your own gameplay if you so feel like it. If your opponent goes, if you go 2TC and you open 2TC, and your opponent also goes 2TC, and you scout that, what you want to do is you want to put up walls straight away to lock off any sort of second town center resource. So in this case, we can put a wall here, and we can put a wall over here, and we can put a wall over here. And that means we don't have to build a single military unit. We can go to the heroic age. Now, the reason for that is your opponent cannot mass up enough units to get through your walls and then harass your villagers. It's just not possible to, the timings don't really line up. You're going to get to the heroic age, you're going to have units starting anyways to defend behind the walls. Really, really good. So that then means that your opponent will also have to do some sort of 2TC fast heroic in that sort of a situation. Now, of course, if you put the walls up, your opponent doesn't put the walls up, you don't build units, your opponent doesn't build units, they're actually in front to some degree. But if they do build units, then you are going to be enjoying that situation. I don't know exactly what I'm saying, but the thought process is there. If you have the 2TC, your opponent has the 2TC, we don't really need to worry about a whole lot of stuff. And we are going to be seeing Hestia pre-queued here from Kido. He's throwing up some walls on this side to protect his wood line. Not protecting this. He feels comfortable here. There is a wall coming up on the back. I would have liked to see maybe the wall to here and an armory here. And then maybe the same thing onto this side as another idea. Would have been perfectly fine. But you can definitely charge in here with the Ocelotl warriors and hit these villages and cause a lot of issues for Kido. But nonetheless, main base under attack as the Tajipla is coming through, and I mean this is honestly not that good of a strategy, I don't think, from Ulysses. We see people doing it. You just sacrifice a Tajipla, which is 100 resources, for a little bit of idle time on villagers and the favor. I don't rate this strategy. I don't think it's good. As long as you don't lose a villager on the other side, I think it's very, 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 very low value. Nonetheless, war huts coming up for Ulysses. He's going to start building a couple of Tequiwa archers out and searching across here for anything to attack. A little bit surprised to see the Tequiwa archers. You can see how long it took the 2TC play to actually start building units. It's 8 minutes and 21 seconds into the game, and the town centers were dropped ages ago. So, I mean, you say what you will, this could have just been miss macro from Ulysses. It could have been a whole bunch of different things. He could have been going for all these techs instead of building military, but it is very, very slow to get these units out and get this pressure happening. That being said, the warrior priest is going to be coming through here. There is a market coming up for our main man. We're just going to turn a little bit of shanky shanks as the Lucawan does get pulled out. One villager down for a warrior priest or two is a good trade. He's not actually going to chase that. I would have chased that to the edge of the earth there with my I allow us. You don't want to allow a villager kill and then them to get out without taking any damage. If you lost both of these warrior priests for that villager, it would have been, I would have said, very, very, very good play for Kido. Very good defense to some degree. A little bit too aggressive from Ulysses. But because both the priests get out, of course, that's really good for Ulysses. Anyways, Hestia now coming through, and Kido will be going into Hoplites and Toxotes, and he does have 5 villagers on favor with a grand total of 1 goat. He's got 1 goat boosting up his villages here. He's got actually 6 villagers on favor. As soon as he hits the heroic age, he will be able to go up to 7 herdables on the temple, and he can also drop the Hestia's Hearth down here as well if he wants. I don't think it's a terrible idea to drop the Hestia's Hearth in your main base and then get the favor boost. Then again, there's a whole bunch of other things you can do, but Kido now saying, I'm going to walk forward and I'm going to put a fortress in your face, even though I do not have myself Arcadian Meadow. Kido's got to be careful with the placement of this. You don't want to give away that you're on this position. If you put the fortress in range, then a little bit sad. But he is going to drop that down, charging in for Little bits of damage. One villager down. Villagers pulling back over here. And Kido will finish off his fortress, and the game will continue as Peltas now coming through for Kido. Onto the top, just walls going up all over the place from Ulysses. Makes sense, but he's about to be in a very, very, very difficult position. Hamadryad's coming through, and I want to see all the Hamadryads now getting built for Kido. Just take a look at the stats. I think I pointed this out before. That's 30 pierce damage per second. Let me just, and it's at 14 range. That's not a lot of range, but it's at 14 range. If we have a little, I'm going to pause here. We just take a quick look at another ranged heroic age myth unit. Oop, wrong god. Oh no, that was the right god. Anyways, right here, ranged. This is doing 15 plus 4 divine and 5. So 20 pierce and 5 divine. So if you calculate that out, it's literally doing the same damage as a Petsukos, but it's doing crush as well. And it's got a special ability. Of course, the Petsukos has got 10s more range, a whole bunch more range, but this has got a whole bunch more HP, a whole bunch more armor. So it's in its own little unique position, but the damage is 110% there for this unit to just sit in a fight and just deal damage, especially to units that have low pierce armor. Nonetheless, the Metropolis is up, double fortress is down, and Ulysses, he's trying to get to the next stage, and he goes to Coil Xiaohui, which I think is a little bit of a mistake here. I would have expected him to go for the other one where he can get access to, I say the other one, I need to know this, Coatlicue, to get himself the Ayotochli, but he decides against that, and, well, he's going to have some troubles here. Do have the Titsamiddle coming through. That's going to get sent off to somewhere else. Now the temple's getting targeted down. And for the moment here, Ulysses just has nothing built. We see a whole bunch of war huts. Nobles huts up as well. Eagle Warriors now starting to come through. Drops the temple. Definitely pick up that Feather of a Fang. Another Hamadryad now coming through. The next thing here as well is if you get Hallowed, what's it called? I can't remember. Hallowed Woodlands. It's an extra 30% hit points, 30% range. Not like range damage. So we're talking nearly 40 pierce damage per second, 39 pierce damage per second. We're talking, I can't do this math. It's 6 times 3, right? 18, 180 more HP or something. There's a lot of stats in this Hamadryad. We'll see how it's going to go, because here's the thing. Kido can just sit here with his trees as well, and they have this crazy special attack as well. It's not obviously not as strong as it used to be in terms of damage, but it is going to be stunning your opponent, as that will, as soon as he moves forward, it pops out. He's not going to even try and use it. Anyways, the town center is going to be going down as Ulysses is going to try and take this fight. We do have the Starfall coming down. Kido doesn't even care. He drops the communal half in the main base and says, yes, please, I will take your units. He should take the Atontan Smasher there. You can decide which unit to steal. He's picking off the Eagle Warriors, and all the other good stuff is starting to die. The town center is falling. This base is looking absolutely and unequivocally destroyed. And this attack from Kido is ridiculously powerful. He does pull back away from the Tejipla there as well. As what is he taking with this? I'm surprised. There he goes. Now he's going to take that Atontan Smasher, and look at the value he gets. 120 wood, 80, 200 resources. I mean, it's not that crazy, but when you remember that he's going to continue to be able to steal units, it is kind of crazy. He's trying to target down the communal half here. And the units for Kido just powering through. And you can just see how strong Demeter is from this one push. Look at these Dryads. Okay, there's the game done. Look at these Dryads and the damage they've done. That's 6 Dryads. Look at the Peltast. 0 damage. Dryads, 2,620 total. That's it's kind of nuts. These guys are these hamadryads are. I'm gonna go ahead and say they're arguably in the OP category. I'd say they're at least an A tier myth unit, if not an S tier myth unit, without even needing to control them at a super high level. I thought they were an S tier myth unit, but you needed to control them at a high level before they went into before they got reworked. Now they're being reworked and now they're doing crazy damage. You just have to have them in your army. This is literally as strong as a Petsukos, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit more expensive, but you do have faster favor gather rate as Demeter, and you also have faster gather rate than Egyptian, and they're costing mainly wood. So while yes, the 250 resource costs 17 favor, whereas the Petsukos I think is 16 favor or something, 200 gold. I don't even remember. It's definitely competitive in terms of what this unit is, and everyone says that the Petsukos is absolutely and unequivocally busted. Not that I agree. I think it's a very strong unit, but busted is a strong word. I think the hamadryad is very, very good. Get out there, try it. Really strong strategy from Kido here. If you guys enjoyed this one, you want to see some more crazy strats executed by these high-level players, let me know what god you guys want to see, and I will look for those games, and I'll look for those crazy strats. Send them your way. See you in the next one.